And as early birthday presents go, this one is pretty hard to top. Yesterday, former Finance Minister Steven Joyce announced his retirement, and that means Nicola Willis is set to head to Parliament in a couple of weeks. Ms Willis, she turns 37 today. I don't know if we should have said your age or not. She stood unsuccessfully for the Wellington Central seat last September. It did look like she would just squeak in as a list MP when the votes were counted on election night. But she missed the cut once those special votes were tallied up. But the time's finally come for the businesswoman, former senior advisor to John Key and mother of four. Nicola Willis is in the Wellington studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
You must be delighted.
I am. This is a thrill. It's a dream come true. Can't wait to get started.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster because you thought you were in, then you were out, then you've been at the caucus that happened, that big first caucus of the year up in Tauranga. Did you have a sense at that perhaps you were going to get in quite soon?
Look, in politics, it's always about the long term and the contribution you can make. So whether I was in the Parliament or outside the Parliament, I wanted to support the National Party to do well. And patience is a virtue that I'm always trying to grow. And good things take time.
OK. We mentioned that you're mother of four in the introduction, and I sort of hesitate before I ask a question about this. Has anyone asked whether you're going to be able to be up to the job with four children?
Yeah, I have been asked that, and I'm okay with that in the sense that I'm asking to be a publicly accountable representative. People need to know I can do the job. I've held down senior corporate roles for many years while having and raising my children, and I'm very confident about my ability to do the job. In fact, I think my children hold me to account in a way that is really important. They keep my feet on the ground and they keep my sights high.
What do you want to achieve in Parliament?
I want to contribute to a team that makes New Zealand a better place. Ultimately, in politics, you can't do that unless you're in government. So that's goal one, support Simon Bridges and his team to win in 2020. Goal two is to make sure that I contribute to a country that is better for my children than it has been for those of us of our age today. So continuing to build this country.
2.5 years of opposition looking likely at this stage, though. That's very different to actually being in government and being able to achieve those things. So how do you think you'll get through the next 2.5 years?
Oh, look, there's a lot of work to do. Partly that's about holding the government to account. It's made some huge promises, and actually government's about delivery, and we will be holding them to account, and I want to be part of that. I'm from Wellington. I want to make sure that Wellington's interests are really represented in the government, and, the Finance Minister is the MP for Wellington Central, so he can't say that he doesn't have access to the dollars.
So Grant Robertson, is he perhaps the one most in your sights because of that?
Oh, look, he's not most in my sights. What's most in my sights is making a difference for everyday Kiwis. I mean, really what you go into Parliament to do is to make sure that people can get ahead and that the country is doing well. It's not so much about the people on the other side, it's about what you can do with policy.
When do you actually get started?
Well, that is a very good question. I don't know the answer to that yet. It depends on when Steven Joyce formally resigns from Parliament and has given his valedictory speech, that sort of thing. But the day I get that call, I'll be there straight away, and I can't wait to crack into it.
Now, you've done the induction already, I think, because there was that thought that perhaps you were going to get in before the special votes actually came in. So do you feel, I guess you've always got a lot to learn, but do you feel that you've got a bit of a sense of what you're heading into?
Yeah, I do have a sense of what I'm heading into, and I have a sense of the enormous privilege that it will be and the enormous opportunity. And what I have seen, both as someone who worked in Parliament as a staffer and during that induction, is that in politics, if you put your head down, you work hard, you stay humble, you listen to those people around you, you really can make a difference, and that's what I intend to do. Coming
in to replace someone like Steven Joyce, who obviously has been very well known, having a career in politics over the last 10 years, what would you say, what sort of fact would you tell the electorate, something about yourself that perhaps people don't know?
Oh, well, I graduated with an honours degree in English literature. So while it's politics now, once it was poetry.
What's your favourite book?
I love The Line of Beauty by Ellen Hollinghurst, which won the Booker Prize. There was a time in my life where I read every Booker Prize-winning novel, and that was one I particularly enjoyed.
There you go. Thank you very much. That's Nicola Willis, who is the MP who will be coming in to replace Steven Joyce after he retires, and also a fan of books.